Welcome to this series on symbols of transformation. It is a dense book, so consider these videos as a resource. So let's begin. The book was published in 1912, 1 year before the separation of Jung with Freud, but the origin was in 1909, sparked by a dream on his way back from America with Freud. In those times, Jung, keep in mind this, did not have an idea of the collective unconscious yet, so this dream could be seen as a prelude to his later entire career.
I dreamed I was in a medieval house, a big, complicated house with many rooms, passages, and stairways. I came in from the street and went down into a vaulted Gothic room, and from there into a cellar. I thought to myself that now I was at the bottom, but then I found a square hole. With a lantern in my hand, I peeped down this hole and saw stairs leading further down, and down these I climbed. They were dusty stairs, very much worn, and the air was sticky, the whole atmosphere very uncanny. I came to another cellar. This one of very ancient structure, perhaps Roman, and again there was a hole through which I could look down into a tomb, filled with prehistoric pottery, bones, and skulls, as the dust was undisturbed. I thought I had made a great discovery. There I woke up.
Jung described the dream as having a very impersonal feeling to it. Freud tried to interpret his dream as a repressed desire of wanting two people dead and under two cellars, but did not convince Jung. Onwards, Jung started to fantasize involuntarily about excavations and ancient things. He even went to actual archaeological excavations, but of course that did not satisfy him. He then got interested in books of mythology and read profusely, and in the midst of it he came upon the Miller fantasies, which are the material analyzed in this book. Jung says about her,
I saw in Miss Miller a person who, like myself, had mythological fantasies. Fantasies and dreams of a thoroughly impersonal character. Their impersonality I readily recognized, as well as the fact that they must come from the lower cellars, though I did not give the name of collective unconscious to them. This, then, is the way the book grew up. While working on the book, I was haunted by bad dreams. I feel that I must speak of my dreams even though one is unavoidably personal to a degree when one does so. But dreams have influenced all the important changes in my life and theories.
Jung did not know her personally. He encountered the material in the works of Theodore Flournoy. Now we can start with the title. Symbols of Transformation. You may ask, what is a transformation of? Well, the transformation of libido. If you're new to psychoanalysis, libido is a concept from Freudian psychology and is, according to Freud, the manifestation of psychic energy, instinct, and the source of all this libido is sexuality. In this sense, Freud was a monist, only believing in one source, at least at that time. This sounds very abstract, but it has a bleak implication that Jung confronted him.
Because of the implication.
One must say that our whole civilization is farcical, nothing but a morbid creation due to repressed sexuality. To that Freud said,
Yes, so it is, and its being so is just a curse of fate we cannot help.
Okay, that seems really dark. No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
In defense of Freud, he later added in 1920 the death instinct as the opposite, one is construction of the organism into more complex units, and the other is destruction, aggression, and a return to an inorganic state, eros and thanatos. Jung's revised libido theory redefined it from a specifically sexual drive into a general psychic energy that animates the psyche and hence myth, religion, creativity, and culture. This energy is dynamic and transformative, symbolizing itself when it gets blocked and seeking for outlets. Jung emphasizes the autonomy of this search and noting that it isn't just driven by past causes, but also has goals, orienting the organism toward a future development. You could see the psyche or soul as an engine that runs on libido as its gas, and this libido can go in two ways. Regression of the libido withdraws from pouring to the outside world like an introversion and creates fantasies or neurotic symptoms. progression of the libido, when it pours out into activity and adaptation and culture as a type of extroversion. Jung asks us to imagine the sensation of going by and stumbling upon something ancient, a relic or an inscription, giving us an instant of depth that reminds us that we are a fragment of a larger historical process. Now hold that impression. Jung makes an analogy between that and the discovery of the Oedipal complex by Freud, and show how this ancient drama managed to capture a truth that is still alive today. He wants to emphasize the importance of the study of history and mythology, since in that way we can learn of the basic conflicts and passions that humans have had since ancient times, and although people might feel disconnected from it, it is just an illusion caused by a false perception of feeling morally superior and that we are better than everyone before us. The truth is that those lower sellers in the psyche still capture the living meaning of those historical residuals from ancient cultures and previous states of development, since the individual is a product of a collective development through history. At the time of Jung, psychology was only concerned with the study of the individual and its particularities. What Jung is trying to do is to enlarge the capacity to analyze the psyche not as a tabula rasa with no contents. Instead, he wants us to see it as an evolving living thing that adapts and goes through multiple stages of development, since it is not isolated from the world.